Well, good morning. I'm Jim Alecxih. I'm the CEO of DH Medical, and it's my pleasure to have an opportunity to introduce our technologies to you. DH Medical is an early-stage medical device or medical software package. We have two distinct software packages: Pure Pixel, that processes images, and the Precision Measuring Matrix that processes sounds. And I'm going to tell you this morning about how both of those work and how we can integrate them into the medical field. We have a strong IP position, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. There are many applications for our software, and we have spent a great deal of time trying to figure out our beachhead, and we've decided that radiation reduction in fluoroscopy is where we're going to start, with cardiology as a secondary market. So we'll talk a little bit about that. The interesting thing about our technologies are that they're already fully developed. They're already in commercial use, just in non-medical applications. And so all of the R&D, all of the product development has already been completed. And so we're ready for our FDA pre-submission and ready to go to market when we get FDA clearance. So we're seeking $5 million in funding through a SAFE. Our technology has an interesting roots. It came out of a guitar company called PRS. That's Paul Reed Smith behind me. And he's probably the world's greatest alive luthier, behind Les Paul and a few others, Leo Gibson. And he developed our AI software packages. And we have 39 patents and a host of know-how, trade secrets that we have access to. As I mentioned, all of these technologies are already on the market, just in non-medical applications. And so we're used in the Department of Defense and military applications. We find submarines, and we're in a lot of three-letter agencies for national security and how we process images for them. And then if you watch network TV, you've probably watched an image with our technology, Fubo, Hulu, and a number of other cable providers. And so we've taken all of that technology and we're moving it into the device space. And so we had an opportunity to really look at anywhere that we wanted to go. And we decided that we wanted to really start as our beachhead procedure, radiation reduction. I want to talk a little bit about that market. There's a number of companies that talk about radiation reduction in fluoroscopy, and it's a big problem. Patients are being irradiated, providers are being irradiated, and all they're doing is really radiation exposure reduction. And so there's tents, there's filters, there's wedges, but there's no radiation reduction. It's just radiation exposure reduction. And the OEMs are trying to make their systems faster with the idea that we have faster procedures, we'll have less exposure. But no one has tried to reduce the radiation because there's a direct correlation between the amount of radiation and the quality of the image. And DH Medical seeks to disrupt that market, and I'll show you some of our images. As our secondary market, we want to go into cardiology, and I'm going to take you back to your 10th or your sophomore year of college physics class and talk to you a little bit about how we're going to help the reliability of the remote cardiac monitoring. So, as I told you, we're in use in a number of different agencies. This is a surveillance drone in Buenos Aires. And on my right, you'll see the original image. And in real time, that's what the operator is seeing in 17 milliseconds. We also can filter clouds, fog, and smoke in real time. This is from a helicopter, but we can do it from satellites as well. And we can also do it in surgical video if we chose that market. We can completely filter smoke and moderate light. But we focused on the radiation reduction market. And so we took our AI platform, we put it on a fluoroscopy system, and we started to turn down the radiation. And we found, with the help of an interventional cardiologist, that we could turn down the radiation by 52%. And at the same time, as an added benefit, not something that we started to look for, is we found we could reduce contrast aging by about 200%, which is of great clinical significance. And so we're pretty pleased. Our goal is to do more porcine labs. How we hope to monetize this market is take it to the OEMs. There are 17 manufacturers, and we want to take it to all of them and see if we can do a licensing and distribution agreement. And so this is our cardiology initiative. And so this is take you back to your physics class. Believe it or not, this is a standard 100-second EKG, and this is how an EKG is established in current technology. And so what you see is the orange is a time smear, the blue is normal sinus rhythm, and that's what's called a FFT, a fast Fourier transform. So it transforms time into frequency, which you think is pretty archaic. It was actually invented in 1822. And so we developed an AI program that measures a heartbeat or any signal in 3 domains simultaneously. So if I gave you a physical representation of this exact 100-second file using our technology, this is what it would look like. So left to right is time, top to bottom is frequency. As the frequency changes, we change the color for you. The arrhythmia is in the middle that you can see, and the height of the wave is amplitude. And we can do any 3 domains simultaneously, so we could also measure this in the harmonic domain. So you say, well, it's a lot of information. What are you going to do with it? The remote cardiac monitoring business is a multi-billion-dollar business that is plagued by inherent inaccuracy. And so if you look at the published data, there's up to 50% of their reports to cardiologists are false positives, and we virtually eliminate the false positives. And so our monetization strategy is to take this to those manufacturers. We're under NDA with a number of these companies that are listed, and we're going to put our AI algorithm on top of theirs and exponentially increase their accuracy. As a secondary market, we believe because we mine in the harmonic domain that we can find asymptomatic chronic disease earlier. And so we're going to look at CHF and a host of other asymptomatic diseases, and that's a longer term prospect. As I said, we have a strong intellectual property portfolio. We own all the technology. We have a small but strong team. And I learned early on at Intuitive that the quality of the engineering team is the quality of the company. And so Mason Barron is truly the brains behind. He used to run the Hopkins Applied Physics Lab. And our use of funds is really to grow our team, both in regulatory and in coding engineers, because we can manipulate our algorithms to be specific for each customer. We have an outstanding medical advisory board. We have a Nobel Prize winner in physics. We have the head of Texas Instruments. We have a FDA commissioner, and these folks have really helped me. The head of Hopkins Cancer, Sidney Kimmel Cancer. So we have a lot of expertise helping us. And we have some milestones. We're early on, but we're pretty proud. We have early porcine lab results that we're pretty proud of. And as I said, we're under NDA with a number of companies. We hope to drive this. I would say this about DH Medical is the margin profile is extraordinarily attractive. We've tried to be as conservative as possible, but we feel like we can monetize this business. I believe the best thing about this business from a financial standpoint is the ability to have multiple exits in different markets. So we could exit cardiology and maintain the rights to neurology, to breath sounds, a host of other applications. And so thank you for your time this morning and the ability to introduce DH Medical.